I believe in Joe Hendry.
Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans right here on the YouTube and the Twitch tonight. Somebody in the chat got my joke. I appreciate that. So, well, as most of you know, Bill is actually at the event tonight. Our Alisha is not doing well, so give her some love in the chat. She'll be back next time we go live. One bone booth, right? Bill is not too far away from the venue from what I heard last night, 15-20 minutes. So we'll give him a little time and he should pop in here eventually. But how is everyone doing tonight? Wild show tonight. Wild show. I was there in spirit. I wish I was there because it was just a wild, ruckus crowd in Chi-Town. And, man, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar voices. some screaming over mics. Oh, my goodness. If you know, you know. But that's Chicago. That's, you know, they are wild. They are wild. So yeah, Bill should be in here soon. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. So Zach Potiphar. So what do you want to talk about? It was heavily rumored, and I said this last night. I went into this thinking, hey, it would be really cool if Jeff showed up tonight. I by no means went on all the headlines I saw saying that, oh, he's absolutely showing up tonight. Can we say he officially showed up tonight now? Absolutely. But last night I was like, no, I'm taking that with a grain of salt, because if he doesn't show up, man, there's going to be a lot of people out there feeling dumb. And that was the last thing I wanted to do last night, was group myself in there and be like, well, you heard it from them. It's on the internet. It must be true. No, I don't go by that. If you're going by someone saying, oh, so-and-so was, let go, or, so-and-so won a title. Okay. That stuff, that's one thing, when you see it happen and it's legit, that's one thing. But, you're going by, well, he might be a free agent today. He might show up in this other place. And people just take that as facts. Here's Mr. Rosario says, what a show tonight. Against all odds was fire. That pop for Jeff Hardy gave me goosebumps. Bonus baby here, and Jeff showed up with the music, with the Hardy Boys music. Yeah, that music is classic. That theme music is special. That goes back. I mean, that goes way back. And so apparently Broken Matt Hardy here didn't like his own finish. That's okay. Oh man. I'm just going through some of the comments here. It's John Palmer here says, I guess now we know why we went with the Nemeth brothers instead of the Nemeth boys. Yeah, well, you know, there's something about the Nemeth boys that doesn't exactly flow off the tongue. The Hardy Boys, that everybody's been saying that for decades now. So yeah. Kill Steel here. Good evening. Says was hoping for another me theme, but I did not expect the Hardy Boys theme. Yeah. So Broken Boys. Thanks, Zach. That's great. That's great. Eric Isaacs says it was 8 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I think I'd give it about that. Let me know in the chat what you guys would give it. Now, I don't rate stuff much. I don't do that. The only place I usually do that is over on Ramblers Unleashed when I'm being a co-host over there, and we're reviewing a pay-per-view and such. Like, what did we just review? Gosh, I don't even know. It was one of the last shows we did. But anyways, it's so much wrestling lately. It just makes your head spin when you get to be my age. You try to keep up with everything. But yeah, 8 out of 10 sounds pretty good. Coach Keith here. Good evening, sir. And welcome to our members. I want to absolutely say that. I want to make them feel welcome. If you're curious, we can tell one of the windows was open today. We let a fly in here. Shoe fly, don't bother me. If you are curious about making yourself a member of the podcast, you can go to the front page of the YouTube channel, and all the information is there. You can click on it and find out how to become a member. I don't mean sit here with me. It's the YouTube memberships. So, okay, just want to clear that up right away. So, we're not hiring, okay? So, but we love our members. All right. Justin Miller says, holy shit, what a night. We'll talk more when I get to Tony's. There you go. Tony's. And you better be going with some friends of the family. There we go. I saw you sitting there with your wife, your kid, and front row Bill. They were on the side of the hard cam. Yeah. Bonus baby shoe fly. How old are you? No, I just hit 50, so there you go. If you followed Grace in NXT, Open Challenge was predictable. Well, yeah, you had some options. Yeah, this is something that we can absolutely talk about here. This is interesting. Morales Vlogs here. Good evening. Says, I did not expect Joe Hendry to lose. he's had quite the momentum lately. And it was like, huh, you know, it seems like he's like low key on his journey to headlining Slammiversary. But after tonight, I'm not so sure. I mean, is he absolutely one of the most popular guys in the company right now? Sure, we can say that. Absolutely. But to lose to the self-proclaimed king of TNA, that I don't know. And then of course that leads to Kaz wrestling. If you missed it, I barely caught it. There was a backstage segment following some of this, and Santino made the match that there's going to be a street fight between Kaz and Ace Steel, a Chicago street fight, and that's going to be during the tapings, I'm assuming tomorrow, for this coming Thursday. But well, yeah, of course he lost because Kaz cheated, but still, it just Daniel William Clark, you believe in Jay Boney. Nice. Don't overthink it. No, I know. I'm trying not to. It's just, when you see a path ahead of someone, and you think it's, I don't know. You can't get the pin when you're unconscious. Yes, I understand that. But I'm thinking big picture here. I'm not thinking about details, okay? And I'm not trying to argue with anyone. It just kind of sucks, You guys crack me up. Dead Punk, Gage. All in all, I had a lot of fun watching the show. Paxley put up a better match than I expected, and credit to Moose for taking that wicked backdrop onto the ladder. You thank God he had the helmet on, right? So yeah, let's start. We're almost 15 minutes in. So Bill should be joining within the next, I don't know, we'll just say soon. So, but I didn't want to get too far ahead. I just wanted to talk about some things right away. Yeah, look, Joe Hendry's crying in the chat. There's no crying in wrestling, okay? Swag fan, here we go. Crowd deserves a lot of props. They brought the energy. They sure did. They always do. And there's decent acoustics in there too. James says, J-Bone, what if EY and Josh, the EY and Josh thing leads to a new form of 2.0 Team Canada? Well, we've talked about that on here. I think I think you could almost, say it's an official, unofficial thing. Joe Hendry says I lost because some didn't believe. Now, don't make excuses now, Joe Hendry. That's not very Joe Hendry of you. I'm just saying. Just saying. So yeah. Courtney says, I believed in you. Well, thank you. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. All right. Now, I saw the results, but I didn't see the full matches here. But we could talk about the pre-show here. We got the Rascalz versus Santana and Maclin kicking things off here. Oh, that wasn't the pre-show, though. My bad. Hang on a second. Because I didn't start my notes until the main show, so just hang on a second. Let me get the... Here we go. Pre-show. Okay, 2 pre-show matches. Sami Callihan defeated Jonathan Gresham. Now, this was interesting. All right. So I missed part of this match, but I saw a majority of the ending where Kushida ran in, and that was number one, he had a doctor's coat on, which was kind of funny because normally when he runs out, he looks like he's doing some sort of Back to the Future, cosplay. Like, he'll wear the vest and some futuristic shorts and a shirt or vest or something like that. This time he came out with the doctor's coat out and looking like Doc from Back to the Future. So I don't know if you caught that, but that was kind of funny. So the fact that he ran out there like that, and I'm seeing a few people address me. Just hang on, let me get through this. So yeah, I thought that was very entertaining that he looked like I was saying Dr. Kushida, and he actually took a sample of the gook, or we'll just call it gook, or black slime. I don't know what you guys call it, but he took it, and then he had a vial. And they were going back and forth between looking at Kushida on the stage and the ring, Kushida on the stage and the ring. And he took a sample of it and he got it in the vial and he was holding it up and he was, like observing it like, I made a discovery. Like he's going to, he's going to make the antidote or something. I don't know. Yeah, ink. Yeah, I don't know. He's the octopus, so yeah, ink, right? So then because of this, and then Sami Callihan hit him with the driver and beat him, which it's 50-50 booking with a twist because of the Kushida stuff. So it makes sense. And it does actually advance the story. So, where is this going to go with Kushida? It's actually kind of interesting. Let me know what you guys thought of that. I think it's interesting. New gimmick. Yeah, Dr. Kushida. Call him Doc. I don't know. Still Back to the Future-esque. Anyways. All right. So we'll see. Next we got Alisha Edwards and Masha Slamovich as Militia. It's I'm not used to calling them that. Defeated the Hex. I saw the tail end of that one. And they retained their titles. This doesn't make me feel like the Hex is sticking around, but I still hope they do. But we'll have to wait and see. If they don't, we certainly need a few more ladies on the roster, or at least to make up for the ones that we're not seeing currently, like Callihan King, Killer Kelly. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go back and make sure I watch the whole thing, but yeah. This is interesting. Dead Punk Gage says, honestly, I thought the whole thing with the black goo would be something out of 28 Days Later and just make people more aggressive and fall under and sway from Gresham's alter ego. Okay. Like the rage virus. Like I get that totally. And just extreme violent and just, great movies. Great movies though. If you haven't heard, they're making a part 3 currently. So, here we go. He is into the studio.
J-Bone.
What's up?
How you doing, Bone Man?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Everyone was asking about you, Jay. Everyone was missing you on site.
Dude, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. I wish I was there. I saw you were actually on the side of the hard camera with Justin there.
Yeah, it was right next by coincidence. Because on the Discord, don't forget to jump in there, link below. I had just been like, well, what seats do you have? And I'm like, I thought we were in the same area, but then life happens and I forgot to double check. And lo and behold, right next to each other, which was just like you and Justin in the past. So very cool. Very cool. I was glad to hang out with. We started with the TNI pizza party earlier today. Always great to have that and enjoy some some deep dish. Lasagna for some.
Did you?
Yeah, we went to the usual. We went to Giordano's. It was actually a little bit of more crowded than normal, but it is really what it is. Like because usually there's not that many people there around lunch on a Friday, but there was a few more people there. But still,
okay.
Always good there. Always good. It's one of those things for those unfamiliar with the deep dish. Like you're looking at a 30 to 40 minute wait time. Like once they put that in. So they give you kind of, if you got a side or an appetizer, like that's what you have while you wait. So,
and I don't mind that. I think some people, depending on where you're from, maybe don't like that. But when we all get into town, we're all jibber jabbering with each other and, just catching up. So it's, whether we're talking wrestling or just, how have you guys been? What have you been up to? How's the family? It's all good.
I saw Trent, Summer of Trent. It's right around the corner. But did see Trent there.
He's probably is he at Tony's with Justin?
Not right now. I told Justin, depending on when we finish up here, maybe I will join him over at Tony's if that's where he winds up, but I don't know.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, what's everyone thinking of the show? What's the instant feedback, J-Bone? I haven't had even no time to check.
Pretty positive. If you're talking numbers, which I don't do a lot of, but there was I think I saw a 7 out of 10, an 8 out of 10. Overall, pretty psyched.
Okay. As I say, Justin just made it to Tony's.
So there you go.
I may, depending on how long they're there, I might be joining them a little later.
There you go. I was just talking about the pre-show, and how countdown. Yeah, sorry. Talking about Doc Kushida.
How about that?
Did you catch that he actually looked like Doc from Back to the Future as opposed to Marty?
Yeah, he had the lab code.
Okay. See,
plutonium. You can't get that at every corner drugstore.
So the fact that he's like, it looks like he's gonna like work on an antidote.
He's sciencing this thing, J-Bone.
Yeah, he's gonna figure it out. He's gonna work on something. Dead Punk Gage, right before you came in here, had an interesting thing talking about compared it like he thought it was going to be more like a 28 days later thing to make people like super aggressive. And I'm like, yeah, I actually like that idea, but I don't think that's where we're going. It's
have just, everyone wear masks and grills. That'd be pretty cool.
Grills. Protect yourself. Get your grill on. Oh man. But yeah, and then Militia retained against the Hex, and but that doesn't, as much as I love the Hex, that doesn't make me feel like they're gonna stick around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
no. But they are a team out there. There is connections to the company, so I thought it was a good opponent for them to have. And you have to build them up. So they were a good team to establish that, because the Militia, along with the System, as we saw, they're going to go in this obviously Slammiversary as the faction in TNA. So you had to build them up and get them a little stronger. So the Hex, for a team that was out there to go against, they do have ties. It kind of made sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't think they were going to win, but I just...
You were giving it a shot.
Yeah.
You're
I see David. I see David Penzer's in the chat.
David Penzer.
He's asking you where you're staying.
I am staying. This is the first time I'm staying here. I am staying at the Manor Motel by OYO, which I've noticed is like a brand that buys up different motels and hotels. I always see them advertised in different places I go, but I don't usually choose that one. But due to availability, bed size, location, all that, I wound up going with this one. And just like the hotels we stayed at, dated, but clean, in a decent area like that. Like those things are fine, parking. But I'm sure plenty of travelers would be like, ooh. Not their forte, but I'm used to kind of going in on the rough, as I would say, with the
I hear you.
So
yeah,
I don't need much in my mind. I'm not in my room that often. I'm here to sleep, maybe podcast. Wi-Fi is a key, and it was decent last night. Hopefully, holds up tonight. I've been at more expensive hotels where the Wi-Fi sucks, and honestly, all I want's a comfortable bed, clean, not an inconvenient location, and decent Wi-Fi would be nice, especially if we're doing a show. So I appreciate that when it happens.
Yeah. Here we got Belle's Boy.
Belle's Boy
with a $20 tip here. Thank you very much. This evening, guys. Okay, show, but let me apologize now. Since when did TNA turn into WCW circa 1994 through 99 with all the old fogies taking roster spots. Oh, was impressed with Tatum Paxley, kid, but Moose needs serious challengers. Okay.
I see what you're saying, Bell's boy. Although I think it's a mix. Like there are a few, but I wouldn't call like yeah, it was. And we'll get to it. Like obviously the Hardys were a big feature tonight. I guess if you want to say Nick Nemeth, is he now considered? I don't know, PCO. But yeah. I think they all serve their purpose. I think still like Joe Hendry is still an up and comer in this business. Like he's a veteran at this point, but he's not like an old veteran or anything by any means. Right. So I think they have a nice mix. Obviously, I think you have to have people with experience, and then people. You gotta have that nice ratio back and forth. If you go all with a bunch of green kids, honestly, you might hit a few home runs, but who's watching that show?
Right. And when
that was NXT 2.0. That was NXT 2.0.
Yeah. And
like it's all kids. But then what did they do? They brought in a bunch of veterans from the roster and started having them do tours down there to help work with the kids. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to have some veteran presence, and that's how you draw. That's where the eyes come from. You get the older fans, and it's like it's really hard for me to look at Nick Nemeth and consider him a veteran, even though he's
been around a long time, but like he doesn't look like, obviously he's in phenomenal shape. Like he's never had that run, so I wouldn't do it either. But like Bell's boy did a follow up here, so let me highlight it.
Right,
I consider Nick Nemeth, Mike Santana, Joe Hendry. If you drop that stupid gimmick he has now, and Steve Maclin, they are serious challengers, and I would agree. I think that's what you're actually looking at. I think if you're going now, tonight, after today's show, who are serious contenders for Moose and the world title, I'd put all those guys in the conversation.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's, to each their own. It's I try to appreciate, even if I'm not a big fan of so and so, I try to appreciate what they bring to the brand and such. Like PCO, he's a former Ring of Honor world champ. He
is.
He's unpredictable. I like the gimmick. I think he's you need a little goofy in wrestling, Yeah,
you can't be all serious. We see companies that do that, and that's great for the niche crowd. But since he mentioned WCW, Mr. WCW's in the chat with us right now, so we got to highlight David Penzer here.
Right,
Bell's boy, you had ABC going over Josh and EY, and that was huge because going into Canada, I'm like, hey, you give Josh and EY the win here, they could be challenging for the tag titles. Go a lot of Canada versus for the titles at Slammiversary. They didn't go that way with the booking.
They still looked great tonight.
They did. So from a WCW Survivor, it's not even close, but nice tip. But I do see the point, because anytime you have veterans debut, and we know obviously we've seen like Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, they have tons of TNA connections over the years. But anytime you have a veteran like that show up, you're always going to have this discussion. So it's appropriate. I don't think it's overdone. But once again, I think it's something you always got to weigh what they add to the roster versus like viewership versus could that be stunning someone else's growth or advancement? They go back and forth. So you got to wait and see, as they say.
Right. So, shall we jump into the main show here?
Let's go.
Let's go. We got Maclin and Santana kicking off the action here versus the Rascalz. I loved this. There was a lot of really good tag team matches tonight on the show.
Very good tag team wrestling tonight. Very good tag team wrestling.
Yeah, there was.
If you're a tag team wrestling fan, this was your show tonight.
It was, especially with we'll talk. I don't want to jump into the ABC Team Canada thing right now, but we'll get to that later. But this was fun. What did you think of it?
No, I thought it was it surprised me that it was the kickoff. I know we've seen the Rascalz a lot do like kind of opening matches, and they fit it there. But them versus the hard hitting tag team of Santana and Maclin, I'm like that maybe that's somewhere in the middle of the show. But obviously, we saw it kind of booked a little differently, and where they obviously put the EY and Josh versus ABC match much later in the card. So I thought it was a great opener, but it did surprise me that was the opener. I thought we might get like X-Division or something like that for the opener. But I was a fan of it. I've always been a big Maclin fan. It was great to see Santana come back. It's interesting. I know the whole thing it was one and done, and they kind of even did after like one and done, but they did the shake hand like they're on good terms, and yeah. I'm liking this. I like heel Maclin as well, but just badass Maclin. I think that's the best Maclin. Like, if you get in his way, he's going to mow you down, but he's a good guy. He's a Marine. The guy he's just no nonsense. He ain't putting up a crap from anybody. That's what I want. I just want the badass. You look at him funny, he's going to smack you in the face, but he wants people to root for him. I want to root for him. I think the fans always want to root for him. So I'm in. And but no, it's going to be interesting to see if there's any there's obviously going to be some fallout of this. Like, where do they go now? Will they have any connection, or are they going to separate over TV as we head into Slammiversary? Right. Or are they still going to have some kind of connection? I don't think they're going to be like once in a lifetime, now twice in a lifetime. I don't think we're getting that type of stuff. I don't think they're going to be a team, but maybe they'll be allies in some way. Yeah,
and I'm okay with that, like down the road.
Yeah, they have respect for each other. They share respect.
Right. But Santana's got to stay a singles competitor. I mean, I know that's what he wants. So,
and I think that's what Maclin wants too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he wants to be stuck in a tag team situation. He wants to have some singles success. And we can all breathe a sigh of relief here because Mayor Neeson's here. Thank you so much for being here.
Is Critical Sting here? Just doing shout outs?
I think he is. I do want to.
Great to see everybody in the chat. Oh yes, thank you, Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry, thank you, Joe, for the tip. Did you see TNA and AJ Styles spot at WWE kickoff show? No, I did not.
I did see that brief, like it was brought up, Michael Cole about the relationship with TNA, and AJ was like, "Oh, that's great." Like, he didn't get into specifics, but it sounded positive, which was great to see. But let's try a little something here real quick for Joe.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
And we see Critical Sting is buffering here, so yes. Oh, man.
Yes, and David Penzer, nostalgia does sell, and that is a fact. It may turn off some people, but it 100% sells. You can overdo it, and at times it gets overdone by every company. Because it is successful, so you want to keep going to that well, J-Bone. But you know what they say, you go to the well too many times. That's where you get in trouble. And that does happen.
Right. You gotta be careful with it. And that's where good booking comes in. And yeah.
Oh, and there were TNA chants there too.
TNA, nice. I know Hannafin brought up AJ Styles on part of the pre-show or something. I don't remember what the context was. I don't think it had to do with It had to do with, I don't know. I don't remember the context. But anyways. But yeah, so Maclin and Santana beat the Rascalz. Great tag match. Next we got PCO versus Swann. Of course, AJ Francis. Almost said AJ Styles.
Well,
AJ,
that's our AJ now, J-Bone.
Is it really our AJ?
He's our digital media champion, representing the brand on Up and Adams all around.
He does do it well. I'll give him that, and I've seen that in interviews. Yeah, he is good that way.
He's wearing the belt, being interviewed. Come on, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is.
He was a great Cheez-It champion, but an even better DMC champion.
Yeah, I don't give him any credit for that. I can sit there and eat a pallet of Cheez-Its and nobody gave me a belt. So maybe
where's my title? Where's my title?
Maybe a new belt for my pants. That's about it.
Daniel William Clark. He's our new AJ. That's right.
He agrees. Okay. But yeah, so he was shooting off his mouth, and then out comes PCO. The PCO versus Swann was fun. You had a little interference from AJ, of course.
Oh, of course.
PCO knocked him on his tuchus. And then he ends up beating Swann. So this was fun. You know, I think it's going to lead to PCO versus AJ at some point.
Yeah, that's what it felt like when the match was kind of made. Like, all right, he's going against AJ. Like, he's going against Rich instead of AJ. But, all right, he'll beat him. And then, because you knew with Montreal, he's going to have a big match. So he's going to go for a title, the DMC title against AJ. Like, just J-Bone. There's no graphic. I won't bore you with the details, but that's going to be a match at Slammiversary.
Okay.
Unless they want to do it on TV sometime between now and then, but you got to have a big PCO match up in Montreal for all he's done for the show.
This is true.
Now maybe they could have a title match on TV in the next bit. And then it turns in the shenanigans, and you have a first class versus PCO and mystery partner. Ooh. Maybe bring back a certain tag team from the past. So those are possibilities.
Oh, boy.
But then there was the after, as Joe points out. There's Steph DeLander aftermath.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she came down. And she's like, it was cute. It was cute how she did this. She's like, do I swipe left? Do I swipe right? Do I say yes? Do I say no? Or do I say oui? Or do I say non? That, by the way, don't ask me any other French. I just know that oui is yes.
That's it.
So, yeah.
She said yes.
She said oui. She said yes. Yes.
They're going on a date.
So, and that's
all the footage. Starts. Where does PCO take Steph DeLander on a date, J-Bo?
Oh.
I said abandoned hospital.
Well, if it's anything like the opening, I said opening credits, the opening, his entrance, which is terrifying, which looks like something straight out of The Walking Dead. It might be, you know. Then again, we don't know what she's into. Maybe she'll dig that, you know. I don't see PCO taking her to a park and sitting in the tree and laying out a
Let us know in the chat. Olive Garden. When you're there, your family. You're halfway there, PCO.
I hear he likes the breadsticks.
Who doesn't like the breadsticks, J-Bo?
Oh my God. Thank you, Belle's boy.
Even French Canadian Frankensteins like the breadsticks.
Like the Italian breadsticks.
Last tip. Anyone notice before Tatum came out who the crowd wanted? Somebody named Tessa. Very
that was
interesting,
interesting.
J-Bone. Very, and you know me, I've been a proponent of this for quite some time. And I mentioned on August 31st, unless it changes, our Knockouts World Champion, Jordynne Grace, is in Canada. Now, it doesn't say who she's facing yet, but Tessa is also on the card. I don't find that a coincidence. And I know there was a story even put out by, I believe it was in PW Insider, that there was talks. Now, who knows? But I still think there's a long-term play there. I wasn't sure if a dirt sheet was running with something today for the crowd to be so into it. Because obviously, like, it seemed obvious it was going to be Tatum based on what happened on NXT. But that there were chance for Tessa, if they were trying to kind of put that out there and see what the fans were thinking, I think that tonight was a positive step in that direction. Because if you're doing a whole NXT storyline and people are asking for Tessa Blanchard as a mystery opponent, that's a pretty good sign. So
that's interesting.
It just I think still identifies her so much as a big time former knockout that, like, if you go mystery, she's got to be in the conversation.
And out of all the knockouts that they could have chanted for, like, Mickey James.
Oh yeah, 100% stuff. It was Tessa,
right? So yeah, very interesting.
Groundswell support, and hey, let us know again. Put in the comments. Let us know if you're listening via audio later. Do you want to see Tessa return? We won't go on a whole thing off topic, but the crowd was chanting it. Is that something you want to see? Or, like, is it something like you're like, do you have a strong stance of not wanting it? At this point, are there still those people out there? If you are, let us know.
Yeah. Mayor here thinks they should go to a cemetery.
Oh, that's nothing wrong with that. Other than the dead bodies.
That's quite romantic. Joe Hendry says checkers.
Joe Hendry, I like his style.
I don't know why anybody would say checkers. I don't get it. Yeah.
There was, and to be fair, there was some no we don't chance. There was some. But I don't know if that was anti-Tessa or because they wanted the NXT person or just somebody else.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
And it wasn't as loud as the Tessa. Like, there were no we don'ts, but it wasn't as much as the we want.
Yeah, so I mean, you were there, so you could tell how loud it was. It definitely came over the camera. So yeah, we'll see. Let's see. But yeah, so Steph DeLander says we'll see where this goes. Tag team titles on the line. Here's another tag match. This is a lot of fun. The System, Eddie Edwards and Myers defending against the Nemeth brothers.
Nemeth twins.
The twins. Someone in the chat said before you got in, says, well, now we know why they didn't call them the Nemeth boys. Well, that doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. They're the Nemeth brothers, Hardy boys. People have been saying that for decades. So, but anyways, yeah. So, what'd you think of the tag team title shot?
No, I thought I liked it. Now, have you talked much about the crowd, J-Bone?
A little.
Well, this is not
too much.
Like the heat that Eddie Edwards was getting in this match.
Oh, really?
The crowd just was going after him, man. It was visceral.
Oh, I did hear some of that. Yeah, like partway through the match.
Yeah, like all of a sudden they just went off on poor Eddie. Eddie, the heart and soul.
Because of his hair or something.
Yeah.
The Mohawk or Faux Hawk or whatever they call
yeah,
it.
Yeah, they went after the hair. They were going after everything. It was brutal.
Yeah.
But no,
crazy.
obviously you have the tag champs. I think obviously, even though they haven't really tagged together, the Nemeth brothers are brothers. I'm sure they've done enough training over the years where they kind of know each other very well. So worked well as a tag team. We know how good Nick is in the ring. I think Ryan's been he's been showing himself that he can do this. He's got some talent here. So I think this is obviously something that Nick wanted to do from the get-go, is do some stuff with his brother, help get him over. And here's the key, because obviously we saw Lish get the boot early, but we have the angle, and it was dirty, J-Bone. The return. Let's get weird.
Of Dirty Dango.
He's back. But first he was back on the team of the Nemeths, which was really weird. It's like, okay, they have the connection. Let's just call him Johnny Curtis at this point, if he's with the Nemeths. But like, so he was kind of on their side, but I wasn't getting it. I didn't know what was going on. But then as stuff started playing out, it's like, okay, especially when like Moose winds up evening the odds, and then some stuff gets outside the ring, and then nothing happens. Then you're like, all right, yeah, he's working. He's in cahoots with the system. But we kind of see how that, like, everyone kind of welcome him other than Moose at the end. So I don't know if that's a trial. Like, obviously he's not in the system right now, but is he trying to work his way? Is that what we're going to see over the next few weeks? Is the dirty one going to try to become part of the system? We know it's not easy. Masha shares a belt with a member of the system, and she's not in it. So,
Alisha, yeah. Here, David Penzer says he's got one last question here.
Let's see. Last question. Bill, did the audience realize they almost went overtime tonight? I'm sure Josh Matthews was losing his mind. Well, and that's hey, Josh Matthews in the truck.
It was by 1 minute.
But I know we're saying that. And honestly, most of the TNA Plus specials have ended early. If I'm not, like, by about 10 minutes, right? So they don't even push it to 10-2,
yeah.
Now, obviously, it's their own thing, so they can do whatever they want. If they want to go over, they could go over. Right. I don't see why they couldn't go over. It isn't like they're interfering with other programming. So I guess they have some flexibility, but they usually don't test it. And obviously, David Penzer knows better than me because he was there. So I think they do try to stick to it. So I'm sure Josh Matthews was, because you got to remember, this was a new crew in a lot of parts tonight, or the same crew with a lot of people taking on added responsibilities. I can't tell you all the changes. I definitely saw some different people. It looked like handling some other responsibilities that they normally do. But I figured I saw Josh early, and I was like, I wonder if I'll see Josh like all around, because there was like stuff you would see Lou do or David Sahadi kind of walking around. But I didn't see Josh much once I got inside, but I may have just missed them. So I think there might be some other people involved that maybe I don't even know the faces yet. Getting more involved that I'll pick up on in the future. But yeah, it went there, like, because the show was flying, but then those last couple of matches all got a lot of time. So it's like, we called for it on the review last night. It was going to be a big schmaz at the end with a lot of stuff going on. So I'm like, it could test the limits, but it made sense. Hey, but we'll go over some other stuff, because there's a major thing that happened tonight that I don't get at all. So we'll talk about that. I still don't get it. And I think you'll know, because it was the one very strong opinion I had last night that I didn't get. But it just continued.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and we'll get to that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I already talked about it. And
James L here. I thought there was a chance when Dango came out that we might see Tyler Breeze, that he might get involved in that match. I thought there was a chance of that.
Oh, see, I don't see that, but I looked at it more like, hey, he's back. He looks different. Maybe he's actually like they just switched gears with Dango and they actually made him a Santino backup. Like,
there you go.
Like they started out but not the
I like it.
But not the idiot sense, where he was kind of just a regular guy just backing him up. So that's what I assumed what was going on. But no, he screwed everything up at the end, and So, but now, okay, so one last thing, and then we'll move on to what I know what you're going to talk about. What was interesting is everybody gave Dango, when he got in the ring, everybody appreciated him except for Moose.
Exactly. Well, he's the leader. He's the head of the system. So he's not just gonna welcome him in. But yeah, I'll be interested to see, because I thought he would at least maybe give him like a fist pump or something. But he just kind of like, all right, whatever.
Maybe they didn't clue. Maybe the story will be is Eddie and Myers
behind his back.
They didn't clue him in on it.
Oh,
like they didn't. Yeah.
You don't go around the big dog.
No, that's the thing. That's the only reason why what would make sense to me is like they did it behind Moose's back as a backup thing just in case, because they didn't know if he'd accept it or not. I don't know.
Well, that will have to play itself out, but there is a story there, no doubt.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, let's go to the next match here. Joe Hendry versus the self-proclaimed king of TNA, Kazarian. Yeah, I'm pretty sure what you're talking about is the fact that Joe Hendry lost this match.
I have no clue what's going on, J-Bo.
I did talk about this right before you came in, and this is the funny part.
People, the guy with the biggest push in the company right now loses to the king of TNA, and there were shenanigans. Yeah.
And they're like, but he was knocked out, and I'm like, no, I'm talking big picture wise.
How does he conceivably challenge for the world title at Slammiversary?
It can't be now.
It can't be. It's gone. Like, that's evaporated.
Right. That's
in my mind. I don't see how you do that.
No,
it don't
not
make any
after
sense.
Losing to Kaz. No.
Like, now that's the thing. Like, I didn't see another opponent, and I just kind of how Belle's boy was saying earlier. So I don't know if it's an NXT person, like maybe one of those other names we talked about, but it's going to be tough. Is it going to be some 3, 4, 5 person match just to put Moose at a disadvantage? Like, I could see that. And then you can just throw Joe Hendry in there for the sake of it with Kazarian. That's what it feels like. It's going to be Kaz, Joe Hendry, maybe Maclin, Santana, and Moose for the world title.
Unless it's Jeff.
Maybe.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Jeff he's the biggest money draw conceivably now on the roster. No matter what you want to say, like there was a long era of this company that he was by far the biggest draw of the company. And honestly, there's going to be a lot of people that will think about it again.
For well over a decade. Yeah. Yeah. Early 2000s, 2003, 2004 through.
And hey, maybe it is. Whatever. I assumed Mike Bailey is going to go against Ali. In my mind, that's already the match. I'm not even thinking about another match. But if they go world title, they could.
But
And
we'll see,
Swag fan, there was a definitely there was an instrument involved for some protection. But once again, just like, and we'll get into the whole debate about Ace Steel. But I'm hoping someone watched our show last night, because I thought having Ace Steel accompany him to the ring would have been the worst move ever. And they didn't do it. They had him come out after to set up a thing for TV. And okay, I'll kind of let that one go if it's a one-off and I never see it again. But they just want to do that for a Chicago TV taping. That's fine. But if that was part of the whole match, I would not have been a fan of that at all. But once again, him just losing, because it seemed like that was the direction. We were getting that push. And maybe, like I said, if it becomes a very crowded field where who knows, Bobby Fish pops back up again. Where's the lie? But it feels like that. That's how it could play out now, which I'm not a huge fan of a 4 or 5 way match. But that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And look, you can tell there's different people. Like if that's the direction they're going, if Joe Hendry's out, then you can tell whoever was behind this slow burn Joe Hendry push, there's someone else booking this now.
There could be
there's someone else,
and maybe
that's what it feels like.
I thought of that about Moose years ago. It's like, are they pulling the trigger on Moose? They pulling the trigger on Moose, and they didn't. But then it did go long enough, and it was a very good reveal at the end. Like you see it in other companies with Cody and the delay and the story. But hey, if Joe's moment, for whatever reason, they're like, we want to do this first, and it's bound for glory. If he's still kicking with all that by then, fantastic. But his momentum's so high right now, I don't know if I'd risk it. But that's for them. But hey, I had some good info here from David Penzer I want to highlight. No, if they go 1 second over, it cuts off. Happened in WCW once. The formats have them going out at 55 minutes. So there you go. So they did run over, because I was thinking about it like to the old pay-per-view days, because I don't know if you remember this on your pay-per-view system, J-Bone. There was something set up to run right after it. Like it might be a movie, it might be a replay of the show, it could be whatever, but there was something scheduled. So it was like a TV schedule. If you run over, you're screwing the next show. So they would have to cut you off. And obviously that happened on TV all the time, like where we missed the end of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. On a regular pay-per-view, like if you bought this on a regular pay-per-view system, I can see the Jeff Park being cut off, because that was the last minute, and that was 1 minute over. So
here's Bed Punk, and I don't know if David can remember off the top of his head, but that's right. We missed the DDP versus Goldberg match, and we missed the Roddy Piper promo at the end of Halloween Havoc 1996, I believe.
Oh man. So, all right. But yeah, I mean, it was a good match, but yeah, just we're all scratching our heads now. Like, okay, we thought we knew that. I mean, yeah, it's like you say, oh, you're all just armchair bookers. It's like, no, but when you see something happening and you see somebody getting a push, it's fun to speculate, and it's fun to be like, hey, I think this is where this is going. And we like Joe Hendry and we support the push. But if this isn't the plan anymore, it's like, wait a minute. What is it? So that's what we're saying,
Well, I know we've heard it there. It's like, who's going to enter this main event picture to go after the belt with Moose? Or is Moose just going to hold it to maybe BFG? Like maybe that's just the plan. And the system keeps rolling and builds momentum. That definitely all possibilities. Like I said, I don't think because they did still protect. They definitely protected Joe with the illegal object in the loss. And I know they've been building King Kaz up as well. The King Kaz without any serotonin. Although I did enjoy his new nickname, J-Bone, the dad from Spy Kids.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious. I was expecting a new #1 hit to get played, but they didn't do it.
I thought that was a possibility. That probably will be on TV. But I am surprised that he went a little more obscure with going dad from Spy Kids. Like, I thought he would go low-hanging fruit and just go Puss in Boots. But I give him credit. He went a little more because the crowd was going Puss in Boots. Because you're a guy's wrestling in boots. It's too easy. You got the double entendre. Like, there's a lot going on there. But no. Once again, it probably will all work out and make sense. But when it happened, I was just at a loss. I don't know if I heard. I saw somebody when I came in said Bill's face when Kaz won. I don't know if I was shown at that point, but I probably did. Like, I probably was going,
what's up with that?
Because I did not get it. And then obviously, of course, then we had once again, it happened after the match, so I'm more okay with it. But I still don't get the Ace Steel stuff. I'm not sure why. Like, backstage is fine, but okay, Chicago one-off, fine. If this was like a Slammiversary or Bound for Glory, I would torch that move that he even showed up. As being
I just don't understand
that place.
Well, because I said that in our private Facebook chat. I'm like, Joe Hendry came out without Ace Steel, and I'm like,
I think they did an audible, and it was a smart audible to me because I think he hurts Joe Hendry by accompanying him. He does nothing for him.
Yeah,
that just gives Ace a rub. Why does Ace need a rub?
That's true. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Other than a Chicago thing, but yeah.
Like when Tommy Dreamer did it with Eddie, it was something for his character. What is he taking from Ace Steel on his character?
Yeah. Unless someone
he's CM Punk's friend and he bites people. I like what? What? But like, if you're a true Chicagoan, do it for a TV taping, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's got a lot of history in the area, so yeah. All right, so we got the X-Division title next. Ali versus Trent Seven. Now I missed part of this match, but Ali does get the win here.
Well, yeah, this one not a surprise, and now it makes a little more sense why Trent was going over in like the build up to this, because whoever fought against Ali in his hometown was going to be the heel. So Trent was the heel in this match. At times, Ali tried to get heat here and there, but the crowd was never going to let that happen. Crowd was 100% behind Ali.
Yeah. Yeah, when he came out, and Ali's reaction in the ring was like, hey, they still love me. But then it was absolutely hilarious when that thing played. It was like, he's like, I don't even live in Chicago anymore. I didn't catch where he said he lived.
And what I heard is like, and you heard it well, like, because there was some audio issues in the building. There was an echo. So it was kind of tough to hear. But it's good that it went fine on the broadcast. Because that was worry is.
No, it echoed on my end too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have no clue what was said.
So I was like really trying to like listen, and I heard parts of it. Like I heard
the teacher from the Peanuts cartoon.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty funny. But yeah. So Ali retains. I think this is a build up for Speedball.
I would think so. Obviously, we didn't see Speedball. Like he didn't pop up or anything. So, but yeah, that feels like the natural build to me. But hey, Joe Hendry lost tonight, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What do I know, J-Bone?
Yeah, I do
I just come
enjoy.
here.
I do enjoy Trent though. He
Oh yeah, no. I think it was a great match. Like it was at that point probably the match of the night. But then we get into some other matches.
Yeah. Oh, see, like this next match is actually my match of the night.
I think this is a very strong contender for match of the night.
Yeah.
I probably agree with you.
Yeah. I wrote one thing. I wrote, wow. And we're talking about ABC versus Eric Young and Josh Alexander.
Or as I call them, Team Canada 8.0.
Oh, yeah. They absolutely came out looking like Team Canada 2.0. I mean, if that
I would like to call them 2.0, but I feel there was many versions of Team Canada, so now they're 8.0 to me. But
there's a lot of different members.
If you know how many formations, because there were so many formations, so we'll just Team Canada. It goes on forever, like the Horsemen.
Yeah,
anyone can come in. Oh, thank you.
I want to thank Morales for the super sticker. Much love. Thank you very much. Says attendance looked great tonight. Yeah, they packed them in.
Over 1,000 people. Over 1,000 people.
Well, it had to be well over 1,000. Yeah, because we've seen that place full, and
it has, but it was probably a little similar to BFG last year because just how it's not a huge space, and with the production. Like with the tunnel now, that took away some seats. So it probably, my guess is like, because BFG was sold out too. So that probably had a little bit more. But it's just based on capacity. And it's Justin who was also there. A lot of standing room only. Correct.
Oh, yeah. There was a row or two of people. If you looked, they had the people on the floor, and then there's like the wall and the bleachers behind the wall. There were people lined up all the way along the wall there in the background. So,
I since I was talking about the different formations of Team Canada, Critical Sting chiming in here, I'm going to have to stop you there. I didn't start watching TNA until 2007, and I was 7. He has to remind us that we're the old heads, J-Bone, and he's a young whippersnapper.
Thanks a lot. I watched, I watched TNA in 2004, and I was 29. I don't know. Sounds about right.
There you go.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, what an amazing tag team match. I mean, if you talk about a match that I had probably least amount of hype.
That kind of came out of the blue because Josh was out hurt.
Right.
So there was and ABC was going against themselves. So it was just like, let's just put a good wrestling match on the card, but with not really a story.
Right.
But during the course of the match, they told a story. They gave a lot of fan service in this match because the fans, I don't know this is where the fans just kind of like went off the deep end. Like obviously with some of the chants going on. And then eventually though, they started doing the stuff that the fans wanted. Like, so it was a lot of fan service, but also great technical wrestling, a lot of it. So this got a lot. This had a lot.
Wait. Did you say technical or did you say testicle?
There was some of both, J-Bo. And I was with Josh when he's like, "Oh, I just I just twist ankles, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. But then they did an audible and said, let's give them what they want. And the crowd goes nuts.
Oh,
for
they
nuts.
went.
They went nuts for nuts, J-Bone. Slap
They
nuts.
went. I mean, this match really went balls to the wall. I just like, what is going on here? And even Hannafin was.
Well, you
like,
occasionally will
speechless.
get the chant. Like that became a thing over the last handful of years, but it peters out pretty soon. But it just picked up momentum to no length, J-Bone.
Critical sting. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, put that up there. Yampeg Yahtzee. Straight out of Taz Vision there. Yeah. But yeah,
tingle in your loins.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. This was absolutely my favorite match, though, just because I had no prediction who was going to win this one, and I didn't care who won this one, but it was a match as it went on. I didn't want it to end.
No,
they took their time with this.
They did. They gave this a lot of time. I was surprised by how much time it was getting, but the crowd was like, it started up. Then like they kind of like they were kind of losing them, but then they brought them back. Like it was a great example of kind of like a crowd with performers, the interaction, and kind of seeing how it all unfolds. Because you could definitely tell they were playing off of it, and it was, and like obviously you saw like Josh just coming back doing some stuff. You saw EY doing some spots. It was and obviously ABC, they were killing it, and it's good to see because, like I said, I thought halfway through that match we were gonna see the good Canadian kids win this match and get a title shot at Slammiversary, like kind of lead to that. But seeing ABC kind of get back in the winning ways and not be done, which we kind of there was a lot of hinting that the ABC might be ending sooner rather than later, but that does not seem to be the case. So
I think there was one hiccup during the match, but then maybe I was expecting it, so I imagined it in my head. But I know there was a hiccup between Josh and EY towards the end. Someone accidentally punched someone, and it led to the demise of the match. So, do I think that's going to lead to EY?
Yes, that did happen.
Josh?
That could be two good Canadian kids going against each other.
It could be, but this match was so good. I want to see more of this tag team.
Yeah, and there would need to be more. Like, it was a very Alex Shelley Kushida misunderstanding, if that. Like, there would need to be another misunderstanding or two between them to get to a match. Because that was just like you're going back and forth. A guy ducks almost, and he hits you. Like, that happens. Yeah, that happens.
Right. There was no like beef counter to it. Like, what are you doing? There was none of that. So, or at least we didn't see it. So I don't know if they filmed something backstage.
Oh yeah, we'll probably see some stuff.
So, yeah, we'll see.
And then,
but I if it was up to me, I would definitely keep Josh and EY as a team for a while, just because. I like the EY heel faction. That was fun. They did that. They don't need to do that again for a long time. If you want to make another team, make it a babyface tag team with Josh Alexander. It totally makes sense.
Definitely.
And Josh, and it's not going to hurt Josh. Josh is still going to be top wrestler in the company. I'd say top 3 in my opinion. It's not going to hurt him in the long run. He can always go for the world title somewhere down the road. But
yeah.
let some other people go for it. This brand is always seems to be short on tag teams at times. So yeah, just keep that going, I'd say. So we'll see. All right. We've got the TNA Knockouts Championship on the line, but not before Ash by Elegance gets invited out, or invited by the concierge, of course.
Oh, the concierge. He talked to the lawyers, J-Bone.
I don't know if anyone else actually wants to. Oh, they're not going to. Oh, thank God.
That's very big of them.
I don't know if anyone else actually wants to see her out there, but
whoa,
they did give her some
whoa.
Whoa,
J-Bone. These are friends of the show. We support Ash by Elegance and the personal concierge.
I'm just trying to think, big picture wise, as far as the audience. I'm not saying us personally. I appreciate them absolutely. It's just I just love
at the end. Some of those chants, I don't know, they weren't appreciating like we do, but
yeah. The concierge, I tell you that when the Iceman is out there, he's getting better and better by the week. The stuff he comes up with, he's priceless.
He's a star, J-Bone. A star.
He is. And he got her the. Can we get a chair?
There's going to be a time he's too big of a star. I don't even want to think of a time where he'll big time us, but he's such a big star he could.
Oh, that's going to hurt when he does.
He'll forget about us in our little podcast.
Right. And all we wanted to do was see more of the Iceman,
Hey, Iceman Intel forever.
Night now he's with her. But Ash by Elegance gets a chair on the stage because, they don't trust getting too close to the champion.
Safe space. Gotta have your safe space, J-Bone.
Yeah, it's like stranger danger, or
I'm in my safe space.
Yeah,
but it looks like a box.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. But Jordynne Grace gets announced, and then we find out who her mystery open challenge is. There was a few names out there, and we kind of, I hate to say, assumed who we thought was going to be. And we get NXT's Tatum Paxley. Bill, what did you think about the young lady, Tatum Paxley?
Honestly, this was, for the most part, like pretty much my first impression of her. Now, I've been to NXT a few times. I don't know how recent to the roster. Like, I know I've heard the name, so I've actually may have even seen her wrestle. I don't know if she had the exact gimmick the whole time or like kind of ring gear and stuff. But no, she was impressive. I thought it was a good match. Now, the one thing is when she first entered the ring in her entrance, she kind of did a little bit of a Rosemary. And I know people kind of mentioned Rosemary as comparisons with her, but she even did like the exact entrance as part of it. And I'm like,
like with the hood thing.
Well, that, and then the lean back on her back when she goes in the ring. I was about to get Iceman and call the lawyers because gimmick it. But we'll give it as a little caveat, a little ode. But no, I thought obviously with Jordynne, who I put right there as the top female wrestlers out there today. I thought she held her own where she didn't look out of place wrestling her. So, but once and honestly, when I first heard Iceman come out, I said it last night. I thought Ash might enter the match. Then you have the built-in protection where Ash would take the pin and the NXT talent wouldn't. And I was going to be like, that reminds me of another relationship, and I didn't want to go there. So that didn't happen. So I'm happy. That's aces by me, not ace steal. That'd be a negative. But I like how it played out. I thought Tatum looked good, Jordynne looked good, and now we obviously we saw the aftermath. Poor Ash with the champagne all over.
Oh,
I feel like I've seen this before.
You had flashbacks.
Now, and who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, but it definitely is trending in an ad. Now it feels like maybe it's Ash versus Jordynne at Slammiversary. Or does the NXT thing, and we'll have to see what TV does, because like obviously that was the only NXT presence was the challenge with Tatum. But I know there's a lot of rumblings about a battle royal on Tuesday. Could that help further some storylines? We'll see.
Yeah. I was absolutely impressed with Tatum. This is the first time. This is not the first time I saw her, but this is the first time I saw her wrestle.
I've seen her. Correct. I may have, but it wasn't as memorable. I'll say that.
If you watch the replay at some point, you'll be happy to see, or hear, however you want to put it, Hannafin during the match points out that Paxley's, we'll just say gimmick, is inspired by Daphne.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I'm sure that turned a lot of heads who were fans of Daphne, when she wrestled.
Well, yeah. Daphne was an early goth gimmick, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And that goes, am I thinking correctly? Does that go back to WCW?
Oh yeah, Daphne was WCW, then TNA.
And she came out with Flair and
David Flair.
And I can't think. Crowbar. He's had a few different names, but good old Crowbar, who still goes out there, man. I give him a lot of credit. He's in great shape.
I see him often. Crowbar still in action.
Yeah, definitely appreciate him. He was actually one of my low-key favorites in WCW at that time. I know there was, a lot of discontent, but I love the look. I just thought he was cool. But
now, do you know what's cool, J-Bone?
What's that?
We got J-Dog on the Twitter.
J-Dog.
On the Twitch, man. You got a J-Bone and a J-Dog. You guys could team up and go Jay hunting.
He's a distant cousin, J-Dog. Yeah.
But he's a fan of Tatum Paxley.
12 times removed. Yeah. No. I don't know. That's cool. But yeah, let us know in the chat. What did you think of Tatum Paxley's match with Jordynne? I thought she by no means stunk up the joint. I felt like she and Jordynne really tore it up, And there was a few times during the match where Jordynne was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna have to
what's gonna take to put her away?"
This. Yeah, just you go in thinking, okay, I can do this, this, and this, but then you see someone on their back in the middle of the ring going like this, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with that?
What is
how
this?
Do you that where are we going with this? But yeah, the Ash getting the champagne dumped on her at the end there, that was hilarious. I appreciated that. She shouldn't attack the champ. What is? It's probably going to be Ash versus Jordynne Grace at Slammiversary. That's my guess.
Yeah. Now, once again, we have 5 weeks of TV. My mind could be changed. It could go in a different way. But if you ask me to book it right now, that's what it feels like.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm glad if that's the route they're taking. I'm glad they slow burned it and didn't just, here's Ash. And here's a title
it's been going on a while.
Yeah. The build up, the character build, everything has been I'll say refreshingly positive, because so many times they'll quick, like kind of what they did with Nick Nemeth, how they had him come in and then all of a sudden a month later he's going after the title, which I love Ziggler so much, the formerly known as Ziggler so much. I didn't care, but in the past I've been very critical of that. Pardon, yeah. but this has been great. So whenever Ash does get in there, I think she's taking it, but we'll see. We got a long way to go. Yeah. So
maybe the Iceman will bring the belt on the show.
Yeah. Well, we'll do our own champagne. Bust out the champagne for it. All right, TNA title time. We've got Matt Hardy, who, can I just say, is still in incredible shape.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, he wrestles in a t-shirt, but he doesn't have to.
He took it off at one point.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
I mean, he did. He looked wonderful. He looks like he's still eating his green beans. Damn it, Matt Hardy versus Moose. This was a lot of fun, and yeah, there was shenanigans at the end, and yeah, we got the surprise at the very end. But I dug this.
Oh no, I thought it was.
They told a good story.
Yeah, no, this was a good match. It was a good match. Obviously, you had a lot going on, a lot of back and forth, all kinds of the broken rules. Pretty much anything goes. But you had pretty much you had a lot of almost bumps. But no, they were hard hitting. I like to use some of the props. The box was a nice little thing where then it had the football helmet in there. But like the box. Was it the box?
Hannafin said what in the Bradley. What did he say? What in the Brad Pitt is in the box, or said something to that?
Yes,
something to that.
Good work, Tom.
Yeah,
you got to make the Seven reference anytime there's a box. So no, I like that, but and I thought they pivoted well into it. Obviously, you got to the point where Eddie and Brian get all the shenanigans. You get all kinds of shenanigans going on. Lish being kind of the main good soldier there because they get taken out by the Nemeth due to what happened earlier. So like she's there like just following everything around. Where a couple very close finishes. But then you just kind of had it. Then you had everything happen. You had we've seen it plenty of times in TNA. You've seen it in WCW over the years. You saw it at WrestleMania this past year, where I was at in Philadelphia, where in that main event, you had everyone do their thing. You had Joe, and that's where Joe is still in that conversation because he had the spot there along.
He did.
So like you did have that happen again. So it's like, don't forget he's still involved here. Even though we did something that may not make sense to you earlier tonight. Don't forget.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Because especially if they didn't bring him back here.
If they didn't bring him back here, then I would say back burner. So that's good that they did this because I would have put him on my own back burner at that point. So no, that he still played a part here. That was good. But obviously we can't skirt around the end anymore. And that was the big reveal. Jeff Hardy back in TNA Wrestling.
No dancing. He had what felt like it was like a real slow stroll out there. no dancing.
Oh, yes. And that was
his game
Queen
phase.
Rebecca. And kudos to the Queen. Kudos. I can't forget the Queen.
Oh,
because
she looked great out there.
She did. And I'll tell you, as soon as she got near the table, I'm like, Matt's putting her into it. And I was already giving her kudos for, you take that bump, Rebecca. You take that bump. And she did. Yep. She did. It was a great thing to see. Yeah. That may be that may be my pop of the night.
Yeah, as soon as I saw her next to Moose, I'm like, oh no.
He's throwing, because he's done that before. Like that's a Moose move right there. Take the loved one, throw him in front of you, bam, just ruin it. Great stuff.
Queen.
Yes,
Queen
I don't want to
be. Yeah.
Yeah, don't want to forget the good Queen.
It's with all the kids she has, she's in great shape. You know, she went out there looking like $1 million. And took a bump like a champ. She really did. So, hey, more Revy. You know, some people are a fan of her, some people ain't. But when it's like this, I'm good. You know, it was
perfect use.
Right. Yeah, because I don't need like a bitch promo or nothing. She went in there. She was with her man. She did what she had to do with Lish, which was the perfect. I didn't see it coming at all. I'm so not used to the whole family being there. I should have, because I'm like, well, who's gonna take care of Lish? It just didn't click in my head, you know. My thought, honestly, was like, hey, bring Lita out there. That'd have been kind of cool. But
now a critical sting. This might be my favorite comment of the night. From F that Al to taking table bumps for that Al.
Oh, wow.
Have we just gone with a complete full circle in this company?
180.
Hey,
total.
It happened. It happened, J-Bone.
It's wild. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They made the t-shirts and everything. That got ugly.
And honestly, that tells you, though, with like Ed Nordholm and Anthem execs at the time, that they eventually smoothed that all over to make everyone happy. Yeah. Without that happening back then and letting the broken gimmick be used and all that where they went, you don't have this happen now. Right. And once again, not everybody's going to be a fan of it now, but it's definitely going to give the company some buzz in the near future, no doubt. And especially with the tour, the summer tour dates and all that. So that's going to be something definitely to pay attention to, because now which direction do the Hardys go? Or are they the Hardys together? Are they doing their own thing? We'll see. Because I know they've, at least Matt has talked about the Hardys being together. Like they didn't get that proper run as a tag team lately. So it feels like it's more in the tag team realm, but like obviously they can go after Eddie. Like if you have it Eddie and Brian versus the Hardys at Slammiversary, like that's you have a huge big money match there. Yeah.
Here, there's a interesting comment from Twitch. Says just finished against all odds, best show of the year. Hope Slammiversary can top it. Wow. All right. So this guy certainly gave it what I would assume is close to a 10 out of 10. Very interesting.
Like it's up there. Like you had some extenuating factors with Hard to Kill to kind of put it really like that's probably, I'm guessing, most people's. But there's been some good plus specials too. There's a few shows that probably really go out there. But if you go top to bottom, and especially the second half of this show, it's really tough to like go like that. Like some big. Now once again, it could depend. Like you might not like like a booking issue, like the Joe Hendry thing, or you may not like the finish because there's so much going on in the main event, even though we got some stuff over and we kind of expected it to. So there, Mayor, with the WWE, because that was half the debate is what music it would be of Jeff's that came out, but it was the Hardy Boys music.
It was. Now, did AEW use the same theme? I can't remember.
Honestly, I don't know, Jabo.
Because I was excited about them being together, but half the time I just kind of ignored it. So,
like, did they use like a Muzak version, like something that sounded a little similar? But I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't remember. But nonetheless, that's the show. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see where Jeff's journey is. Is he going to be tagging with his brother, going for the tag titles, or is he going to be the one to take down the head of the system at Slammiversary?
Okay.
It's
public domain. AEW did use it.
Oh, okay.
But then, or maybe they messed with it a little bit because or maybe it's just the sound. Maybe the sound sometimes is different depending on, just like anything else on your audio system.
I'd have to look. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, great show. Some really great matches. Some of the feuds weren't like the be all end all, but the matches made up for it. So yeah, you had a little bit of everything. You had a little bit of ha-ha with the PCO stuff. You had great tag matches, which is what I always appreciate. The surprise for Jordynne Grace was great. Tatum Paxley, absolutely. A lot of people are going to say that the ladies stole the show tonight. They did great, between tag match and this match was great. And then the main event, of course, with Jeff showing up, the hardcore stylings of Matt versus Moose was great too. So yeah, I always appreciate shows like this. You get a little bit of everything, even a 20-foot ladder table spot. That was ridiculous. And that table went straight into Matt's head too, which caused him to bleed. And he just took it and licked it. And it was like, the crowd obviously popped for that. They're like, "You sick?" That was great. So, any final thoughts, Bill, before we get out of here?
No, kudos to the TNA fans out there in Chicago that came out tonight. They were loud. They were into it. And everything was positive. Obviously, great job by everyone tonight. Obviously, especially as we know, there's been some changes. People behind the scenes, some people in front of the scenes. So people have taken on some more responsibilities. But then obviously, and then you have the whole relationship now with the WWE and NXT. So we're seeing that progress. So a lot of things going on, a lot of moving balls right now. So, and Justin, he pointed this out to me, sitting next to me. It's hard to hear you, but Rebby's earrings were Jeff's logo. The one she took off before going after it, they were kind of another tease as they were kind of leaning in that we might be seeing.
That's interesting.
Jeff. So no, I thought it was a great show.
And I thought it was just her taking a hint from Jordynne Grace. Hey, take your earrings off and again.
Well, that's usually it's about to go down. You take the earrings out. It's about to go down. Out.
This bitch is done, right?
But no. Very happy with it, and we'll see what happens.
We even have predictions for Slammiversary, so there you go. But yeah, and let us know if you're watching this after the fact. What was your favorite spot of the night, and what do you rate the show? We thought it was I thought it was darn good. overall. Had a lot of hype. You know, when there's a lot of hype behind it and a lot of people are talking about it, it's a good feeling. It really is. So we'll see where they go. I'm here for it. You know, all the hype in the world. I'm here for it. TNA deserves it. You know, always a little engine that could, and going into Slammiversary really feels big. It really does.
Yeah.
Years past, sometimes not so much. This one does. You know, there's a few different ways they can go with this. So, all right. For this gentleman to my left, you're right, Mr. Front Row Bill. Have a great night tomorrow, because I know you're going to be there for the tapings. So,
Forward to it.
Say hi to the rest
Make
of the
your way
fellas
out.
for me.
Yeah. Make your way out if you're in the area. Should be a good show with a lot of good fallout. So head to Cicero Stadium.
I think partway through the day, there's going to be a lot of ticket sales after what happened tonight. We may
That's the key. That's what you want.
Sold out tight.
You want to
number
get that
2.
buzz. Yeah.
Yeah. And for a Saturday, hell yeah. Why not?
Saturday night, baby.
It's all right for fighting. Or at least some. Oh no, wait, that's some other show uses that. Never mind. Sorry about that. So, but all right.
That's enough.
Thanks for tuning. Cut them off. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We can't wait till Thursday, but make sure you tune in Wednesday when Team TNI UK hits the airwaves, and I can't wait to see what they. Yes, Justin, wrong show. I can't wait to see what Team TNI UK says about tonight's PLE as well. So make sure you give them some love on Wednesday afternoon. All right, take care, folks. Much love. We'll see you later.